Okay, so I have over 8 years of experience into IT industry, and I have worked
Okay.
across different domains, across different projects. I have an experience of working with the tax compliance projects across e-commerce based projects. So I
Okay.
can, so I'll plan my sessions accordingly so that I can deliver
Okay.
you the value which will be requiring
Yes.
to build skill sets in the BA industry. So
Okay.
that will be my main
That is.
focus. I would like to know a little about you.
Yeah, my name is Soumya, and I've completed my master's degree just recently. Last month is my graduation date, and I'm very interested in actually project management, and I think that is why I wanted to start. I've read that business analyst here is the first step of project management, so I wanted to learn how it would go in interviews and also the tools required that are important for a business analyst to know. And I think that is why I opted to join this sessions. And I would also like to know how the interviews here are taken so that I could present myself better and I would have a better chance in the interviews.
Okay.
So I'm really very interested in this actually. That is why I wanted to go. And because of my course also focuses on project management, and I've taken advanced project management course too, and I have graduation certification in that too. I have little, I mean, I cannot say deep knowledge, but I can use MS Project and all those kind of stuff, and I know little about the areas. But I just wanted to know and other tools like Power BI or that kind of stuff which are mainly used in this positions jobs, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm seeking for this training.
So you have done masters in project management itself.
No, actually, my program name is called Operations Management, and
Okay.
one of the courses is Project Management. And because I have interest in that, I have also taken another Advanced Project Management as elective course.
Okay.
So, yeah, for now, I want to focus my career into this. I also have done in other courses like supply chain and HR, but this is my this I want this to be my main focus.
Okay. So this is what it makes you like eager and
Yes, yes,
yeah.
very much.
So you are targeting for the roles based in US itself, like you are based
Yes,
in US,
yes, I am based
and
in
you are
US, and
targeting for US based roles
yes.
itself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have the work visa and everything, right?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
I applied for my OPT and I'm waiting for the response and OPT card so that I
Okay.
can start working. And by the time I think I'll be ready for the interviews and all.
Okay. So I'll start sharing my screen and we'll go through the course contents.
Okay.
So I have worked across different clients from different zones. So I've worked. My last client was from US itself.
Okay. Okay.
So I'll try to leverage my experience and give you the knowledge which you require.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start with the today session. So this
Okay.
course is named as Business Analyst course, and this
Okay.
course will give you the skills which you require to succeed as a business analyst. So
Okay.
today's session has two parts. First part,
Okay.
we'll go through the complete course structure, what all modules will be covering up, so that you know you have the clear picture, like what all
Okay.
skills you'll be learning in as a part of this course. And in the second part of the course today, we'll also go through the first module, and
Okay.
we'll go through the introduction to business analyst, and we'll see how it originated and evolved, and who is a business analyst and what does business analyst does. So this part I'll be covering up till here, and
Okay.
let's start. I'll give you the overview module by module wise. So by
Yes.
the
Okay.
time you'll leave the today's session, you'll just not only know what this course will cover, but you would have also started learning. So
Okay.
this is the course module one. So module one is the introduction to BA. This is the
Okay.
foundation course, and we'll start from the very beginning. What is business analyst, right?
Yes.
Where did it come from? Where did it originated? And who exactly is the business analyst? We'll also look at the type of IT companies. Like
Mm.
we have product based companies, we have service based companies, and how they are structured in the IT
Hello,
hierarchy. Yeah. Hi.
Soumya, good morning. Sorry
Yeah.
for the interruption.
Yeah.
One more student also joined. His name is Karthik.
Okay.
You can talk to him.
Okay. Sure. I'll just briefly stop this course sharing. We'll have a brief overview with Karthik as well. Would you mind switching on your camera? It will help for better interaction.
No, actually,
There is some problem in your connection, Karthik. Not able to hear you. Your voice is breaking up. Soumya, so we'll start where we left. And if Karthik has any doubt, he can just, we'll take up the Q&A sessions as well towards the end of this call. Okay. So we were in having the discussion around modules, what modules we'll be covering up. So we were in the type of IT companies. So right, there are product-based companies, there are service-based companies. Then we have looked into IT hierarchy. We'll be looking into IT hierarchy as well. And then there comes the stakeholders and types of stakeholders. So stakeholders is something which you will go through like throughout your career. This is very critical to business analysts because we'll be interacting with external stakeholders, we'll be interacting with internal stakeholders. So external stakeholders are your client team, and the internal stakeholders will be your team. Like in your team there will be different members. We'll cover that as well. So any queries still here, Soumya?
Sorry. I don't have any questions.
Okay. So then we'll also be covering the SPOC. What is SPOC? SPOC is single point of contact. So who is the actually BA is the SPOC for each of the project, because each team member will be approaching BA for any query. So we'll be covering SPOC. We'll be covering what is scope and what is scope creep. So these are very integral parts of a BA which we will be coming across while working in real-time projects. Then we'll come across business analyst prerequisite. What does the business analyst needs to have? Like, what do you think? What does business analyst needs to have? Like you have gone through a course, and just like it's not, I'll not be judging you on anything. Feel free. Like, what do you feel? What does business analyst needs to have?
First thing I have known is that a business analyst should be very good at communication.
Right.
They should communicate between the team and the client. They should take the requirements from the client and be able to communicate that better to the team so that they could do the task well as the client needs. And I think that is the basic and the most important thing.
Right. So communication skills are the very important skills. So we'll be covering the other skills as well. What does business analyst requires and everything in the prerequisite sessions earlier, later on when we'll be covering this point itself. Then we'll be covering the roles and responsibilities of a BA. What are do's and don'ts of a BA? What are the problems faced by a BA with stakeholders in gathering requirements? So this again is something which will face in your entire career, because there are different types of stakeholders who will give the requirements in an ambiguous way, which is very unclear. So business analysts have to face that and work in that requirement and work in that ambiguous environment and thrive in that environment as well. Then we'll come up across the stages in the business analysis. So this is what we'll be covering in the module 1. Let's go to module 2. Module 2 is the software development life cycle. So every software project follows a defined life cycle. In this module, we'll study all the phases of the SDLC, software development life cycle, and enterprise planning, designing phase. Then there comes the development phase, testing phase, installation phase, maintenance phase, and role of the BA in each phase. So BA is a person who is involved in all the phases. So usually QA team will come up in the testing phase, the support team will come up in the maintenance phase, but it's the BA who is involved in all the phases. So that's why BA is the SPOC of the project, is the single point of contact. Every team will approach BA for any query, for any point if they want clarity in any of the point. So this is about module 2.
A question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I'm also aiming for other industries other than IT. So will this also be applicable in other type of industries too?
So what are the industries which you are targeting?
Right now, I'm thinking I don't have a specific industry to focus on, but I'm thinking not just IT, like retail or other kinds of roles too. So if whichever I get the interview with.
Okay. So in
I'll,
terms of, but you want to leverage the BA skills only itself, right? In
yes,
the
yes.
retail domain. So there are different domains in IT. So, like I have an experience of e-commerce, which falls under retail domain. I have an experience of taxation. So, this BA skills can be applied across multiple domains. And now, domain has become more important, I would say. Like when you'll be facing the interview, you'll face domain specific questions going further when you'll have experience. But this knowledge can be applied to retail also. There will be like the process will be different. In retail, there will be order management, supply chain management, such processes which BA needs to handle.
Yes.
In, say, for example, in banking or fintech industry, which falls under IT only, you'll face different types of business process. So it's like a business process which will vary, but the core BA skills will remain same, which can be applied across all industries.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So then we'll have the module 3. So module 3 is the SDLC methods and models or software engineering methods. So now there's not just one way on how we can build up the software. There are multiple technologies, and BA must understand what all technologies, by what all technologies we can build up a product. It can be a waterfall model, which is a sequential methodology, where we'll go with the designing phase, we'll complete designing phase, then we'll go with the development phase. Like this is the sequential model. Then comes the iterative model. So iterative model is something where we'll build up by parts. So usually we prefer iterative because we deliver, we make something, we get client feedback, and then we can change that. The change is easier to implement. But in the waterfall model, it's not easy to implement because you have built everything. Then is the evolutionary methodology, which is the spiral model or the prototyping model. So this model focuses on prototyping, early working models, so to gather the feedback from the stakeholders. Then we'll also cover what are the prototypes and what are the different types of prototypes. We'll cover what's the difference between a wireframe, prototype, and mockup. I hope you are familiar with these words, wireframe, prototype, and mockup. We'll go through details in each of the model, but just wanted to know.
I think I haven't heard of this.
No
word.
worries, we'll cover it. We'll cover it up. So for example, you do you have an app like Uber, like Uber in
Yeah.
your phone? So
Yes.
while if you'll take any screenshot of any of the screen, so that's the mockup, which will serve as the mockup for the like giving any presentation to the stakeholder. Like this is how which we are visualizing the screen. If you'll take the screenshot, but now if you are interacting in the app, you're interacting. Okay, from this you are pressing any button, going into the next screen. So that's the prototype. So prototype is the working version, and wireframes are something which you can draw on paper also. There are tools also to make on wireframes. It's like a rough picture. It's a low fidelity gray, we do usually do wireframes in gray color. So mockups are usually better visually appealing. Wireframes are just a rough sketch.
Okay.
So this is just a very high level of knowledge. Then we'll go with agile methodology and Scrum and extreme programming. XP stands for extreme programming. So these are something which are very up in the market. Then we'll go with also what's the difference between the method and the model. Okay. So model 4 covers your 6 knowledge areas or stages in business analyst. So this is directly aligned with the international standards of the BEBOK guide. So we'll cover BEBOK guide in, well, we'll go with the introduction. So these are enterprise analysis, 6 knowledge areas or stages in business analysis, which every business analyst needs to do while working on any project. They first need to understand what is the problem statement. So this problem statement can be done. Why do we need to build the project? So these 6 areas will be covering up. And then let me highlight few important things within these areas. Under enterprise analysis, will learn the different like techniques like Pareto analysis and fishbone analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, threats, SWOT analysis, gap analysis, feasibility analysis. So business case writing to understand the assessment of the requirement which the client has come up to us, like why do they need to build up, what's the problem statement. We'll be going with the enterprise analysis. Then we'll be going with the requirement planning. Then we'll also go with the RACI matrix. So who will be RACI stands for responsible, accounted, consulted, and informed. This is very important as you'll go and work across the projects, because so that why this will be important, because it will eliminate the confusion and finger pointing. Otherwise in the project this will create confusion, like okay, this has gone wrong, who is the responsible for it? If no one knows, they will point out finger unnecessarily on anybody. So okay, for this requirement, say for example, Soumya is responsible, and for this requirement, say Karthik is responsible. So this is how RSCI matrix works. Accountable is someone who is higher in higher position to you. You will be working directly on the requirements, but there will be your lead who will be accountable for your work. Okay. And then consulting means who should be consulted for any of the problems, like say for example, client stakeholders can be will be in the consulted column, because they'll be consulted for each any of the issue, and who needs to be informed for any of the problems which anyone can have, or like okay, we are going with the release this week, who needs to be informed. So we'll go through all these details. Then we'll also cover the requirement elicitation and gathering, requirement documentation, and solution assessment and validation in module 4. Covering module 5. So module 5 is requirement analysis process. If I had to name the single most skill of a business analyst, which is very important, then it would be requirement gathering and analysis. So this is very critical. If requirement is gone wrong, then entire project goes wrong, no matter how much skilled you are. In this module, we'll start with requirement actually, and what are the different types of requirements, like functional requirements, non-functional requirements. We'll study how to work on a, like, what's the good requirement, how we can classify the requirement that, okay, this requirement falls under good requirement. There are specific guidelines and parameters which makes sure that requirement is complete. A BA who writes vague requirements or incomplete requirements will create a burden or confusion for BA, for themselves itself, because team will come up again and again. Okay, this requirement is incomplete. What needs to be done next? So there will be more confusion if requirement is not clear. So requirement gathering, requirement analysis is very critical. Right, so we'll be covering entire requirement analysis process in module 5. Then is the module 6, which is the documentation. So yes, BA has to work on the documentations itself. So documentation will be covering up the business requirement document, will be covering the software requirement specification, which is SRS, will be covering the functional requirement specification, and will be covering the statement of the of work. So starting with SRS. SRS is software requirement specification. It's a technical document, and it's worked along with the technical team or the technical architecture. It's a very high level overview which I'm giving you. Then comes the BRD. BRD is something which BA works on normally in their day-to-day life. It is the business requirement document. So whenever we interact with the stakeholders, they have the problem statement of what needs to be done. So as a business analyst, I'll be documenting all those points in BRD to make sure that we have a formal agreement with the client. Understood?
Yes.
Then we have the FRS, which is the functional requirement specification. So BRD tells us what needs to be done, but how will be building up the product? Like, what will be the user interaction after the screen? What screen will open up? That will be covered in functional requirement specification. So every organization has a different way. So in some organization might be a document is required for functional requirement specification. In some organizations, user stories also form a part of functional requirement specification, because those are detailed and covers all the scenarios. So functional requirement specification, and then statement of the work. So statement of the work is something which defines the scope, which defines the deliverable, which defines the timeline, and which defines the payment. So this is something which we can consider as an agreement with the client. Okay. So this is the documentation. Now we'll be also going through module 7, which is the OOPS and MVC architecture. So you might be wondering, why does a business analyst need to know any programming concepts? So usually business analysts do not code, but if they have the understanding of the technical world, it will help them. So we'll be covering up this module as well. Then comes the module 8, which is UML diagrams and tools. So UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. It is the visual language of a business analyst. If requirements are something what BA writes, then UML diagrams are something which business analyst draws. So we have use case diagrams, we have sequence diagrams, and we have activity diagrams. We'll be covering with everything in this module. Okay. So then comes the module 9, which is the BPM, RUD, and RAD. So BPM is very, I would say, knowledgeable concept, and it will help as well in interviews. This is something which every company demands for, if like in their candidate, it's a key skill. Then we'll be also covering every like what are the software servers and different types of servers. So it will help you in understanding how the real time project works. It's not okay. So for example, I would like to give you an example. Okay, let's take an example of Amazon. It's so what we are seeing Amazon right now. It's the production site, right? It's the production server. But there down in the line, there might be a one step down where their clients are performing the user acceptance testing, and that is the UAT server. One step down, there might be a site where the QA team of Amazon is performing the testing. So to validate if everything is working fine. So they are working on a QA server. The development team is working on the development server or a like dev environment. So there are different environments while working on any of the project. Okay. And BA's role is very critical while working on each of the server, because say for example, if there is any issue in coming up in the production server, then BA has to analyze, okay, is it replicable in the QA side, is it replicable in the staging side. So we'll be covering up all the server related things in module 10. Then comes the module 11, which is software testing and areas of testing. So this module also falls important to BA in the day-to-day life, because BA is involved in the testing as well. So they'll be creating, like it depends upon company to company. If in some companies BA will be creating the test plans, test cases, or if the QA team is preparing the test cases or test plans, then they have to validate those test plans and test cases. So we'll be covering up what is functional testing, what is regression testing, white box and black box testing, and what is unit testing, what is UAT. We'll be covering everything in this, because QA team tests whether software works or correctly. The work of QA team is just to ensure that the software works correctly, but the BA will be checking, BA will ensure that this is the software which the client requires, because BA was involved from the requirement gathering phase. BA knows what the client needs, right?
Okay.
So module 12 is the change management process, and in the real world requirements always change, right? Because okay, we have given some idea to anyone, and now we want to add on. Okay, so client sometimes come up with these things. Okay, we have given you this point, now we want to add this feature as well. So we'll go through that entire change management process, and we will face the this thing throughout their career. And it should not be something which should be taken as a burden, but it should be, or as a like something, okay, oh, now change has come up, now what needs to be done. It's a normal process where we have to take um, step by step detail like processes, so to ensure that we have covered the change management like say for example, I'll take an example. If in the midway of the sprint there comes a change where you need to now integrate one more payment gateway into your solution. So instead of being worried, we should first analyze, okay, why this change has come up, or do we need to have this change in the phase one of the project itself, or we should take this change and propose to the client, let's go this with this in phase two. So client, if we'll say to the client, okay, let's go with this in phase two, they'll certainly say, why can't it be done in phase one? So we need to tell them why, like we need to come up with the data, we need to come up with the value, like okay, in the phase one you can analyze how your product works, in the phase two then this integration will help you better. So we have to we'll be covering all these real time scenarios in each of the module with the practical experience, which I'll be sharing with you. Then comes the module 13, which is the project management system. So in this module, we'll see how the project is initiated, like how is the project started, what's the very start. So I have worked in pre-sales as well and in post-sales as well, which will help me to give you an idea, like what happens in pre-sales, how is the project actually started, what is software bidding, and like what are the different types of projects, what are the types of payments involved in projects, and how we have to manage the mails, how we'll be managing the timesheets and everything, along with milestones, risk analysis, risk mitigation. Everything will be covering in module 13. So this course has all these 13 modules. And then we'll also cover a few added features where a resume preparation session will be held, and we'll cover the sample resumes, and we'll also go through ATS. So these days, since AI is taking a good grip on the industry, everything is being automated. Your resumes will first pass through an ATS check. So your resume, what they need to have so that you can land on a desired job. We'll cover everything. We'll cover through four like real time projects and case studies also will do. So to make sure that okay, whichever job you are targeting, your resumes are shortlisted there. It's not like 10 20 years back when there was a manual review done, but now everything is being automated. Maybe you are a good fit for that job, but your resume lacks the keyword, then you'll not get shortlisted and the opportunity will be over. So we'll cover that as well. Then comes the interview preparation. So I'll leverage my experience in this area. So I have given multiple interviews throughout my career, and I know what the companies require at for freshers or for mid-skilled person or for senior person. So I'll give you some tips in the interview preparation, and we'll have some sample interview questions as well. So this course structure involves 13 modules along with some added features. Till now, any points, Soumya, where you want me to like add to any module, or like just in case you have any query, let me know.
So I recently I've understood that AI has become uh, main thing in the industries, and this everyone are saying that AI can take your jobs. But I feel like as a BA, it is AI is involves very much, and I feel like taking the requirements, AI can do it instead of a person. So I wanted to know how we can go through with that and maybe integrate AI into our jobs, use AI, but still we'll have a position and we'll not lose the job to AI. So I just wanted to.
Yeah. So what I think, AI is a machine.
Mm,
It will not understand. Okay, let's take an example. So say for example, there is a requirement gathering session. Now, as a BA, we go in the client in the calls. Now with the AI, say assume AI is going and taking on the requirement gathering. Client is saying, okay, I want to build this. AI comes up with the solution. Okay, this is what I propose. Client tells this, and AI will just is a machine. AI will automate the responses, but it will not understand in detail what actually client needs.
mm,
It will just replicate. Okay, okay, this is what I suggest. This is some just it will throw the information, right? It will just throw the information, but it will not understand in detail, like what are the competitors, what why even the client needs to have this. So for example, client needs to have a website. Client comes and says, okay, I need to have a website, but in the longer conversation we'll understand, as a business analyst, that okay, what's their problem statement in actual they want. Because there is say for example, customers are not coming out to their website. That's the main problem. Why does the client needs a website? But AI will not understand in that way. So
okay,
AI will not take the jobs, but we need to learn AI. We need to learn to use the AI in our job. So the only difference is that the BA
okay,
who will learn to use the AI in their day to day life will excel. And like we can use AI to write down the user stories. We can tell the AI, okay, give me the acceptance criteria for this user story, but we need
mm,
to then run that. Okay, is it right or not? Because AI gives false information as well. AI
yes,
will we need to run the commands in that way. We need to give the prompts to AI in that way, so that a good information comes to us. So BA is required.
yes, okay.
I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So, any other thing? And then we'll
Mm,
go come up to the
that's
part two of today's. So we covered the modules which will be covering throughout the course. Now comes the module one, and under module one we had the introduction to BA. So, as in introduction to BA, and we start with the most important question: why does even business analyst role exist? Why business analyst role exists? So we'll go back in the origin. So imagine it's early 1980s, and there's a large bank that decides they want to build a computer system to manage their customer accounts. The finance team, the business side knows exactly what they need. So the technical team also knows, like the business needs, business team means a stakeholder. They know what needs to be built. and in terms of interest rates, loan categories. But on the other side, the development team or the engineers and programmers, they were thinking in terms of, okay, how we'll have the database structure, what all columns will be there. So they were thinking in a technical way. There was no one who was in between of the technical team and the business stakeholders to bridge that gap. So business analyst is a person who will bridge that gap. So they will interact with the stakeholders, understand their requirements, and take those requirements to the technical team. And they can understand the technical language, but they'll communicate with business in a language which business understands. So they'll bridge that gap. And in so this started with 1980s. So and this role evolved over decades. In 1980s, business analysts were called as system analysts. To like they were working on documenting those technical specifications. Their role was defined to just document and bridge that gap. Okay.
Okay.
So as internet evolved, as technology evolved, the BA role also evolved. So in 2000, what was the internet evolved too much that this role also evolved. And then in 2003, something substantial happened. So International Institute of Business Analysis was formed to standardize this profession. Because say for example, somewhere some team were following different way of working, of developing a product, and in another area a different way was performed in working on software development. So this process is now standardized. Like so some teams are preferring now, say for example, working in an agile environment, or according to projects, still some companies prefer to work in waterfall methodology. So all this process is now standardized by once this International Institute of Business Analysis was performed. And there are certain certifications also which are being done as a part of IIBA. So certifications give credit, what certifications give the employers the trust that okay, this person has the skills to work in the BA industry. And then the first edition of BEBOK Guide, which stands for Business Analysis Body of Knowledge. It was published in 2005 to standardize this profession. So this is how this role evolved in 2000. Okay.
Okay.
Then comes to 2010. So we were working on long detailed requirements, and then now Agile came. And now teams started to shift to user stories instead of working on those long technical specifications, long documents. So now the focus shifted on the user stories and collaborating with the team. So there was increased collaboration with product owners, with Scrum team. There was focus, okay, on customer experience, on customer satisfaction. So our focus changed in 2010. And now in 2020s, so business analyst is just not a person who will just write the requirement. They are the strategic partners in the organization. They are involved in all the phases of software development lifecycle. So this is in today's world, business analyst is must know about business strategy. They must know about data, how to deal with data while working on the requirement analysis or while working on interacting with the stakeholders. And now in today's world, the shift has been into data driven decision making. Okay. So today BA will not just gather the requirements, or like they back the recommendations with the data. Okay, we recommend the client team to go with this way rather than this way. We'll tell them also why we are proposing them, because this will lead to more customer engagement. So business analysts perform detailed analysis and then come up with the clients. So this is how this role has evolved. And now you are stepping into a role which has a 40 years of rich history. So this role was present from 1980s. But see how this role has evolved in today's era, right?
Yes.
So this is the overview of the role. And now will come up what is business analysis. So the definition which we have for business analysis, it's the practice of identifying what the business needs, will evaluate those solutions, will analyze those solutions, and will guide the organization that okay, what change which needs to be done in their current processes to achieve their goal. This is what is business analysis. And a person who does business analysis is called a business analyst. So A business analyst is a professional who will evaluate an organization processes, their existing system. Might be they have no current process itself for their requirement. So we'll become analyzing their requirement in detail. Or might be something, sometimes what happens, they already have a solution, but they are looking to add some more value, add enhancement, add more features to that. So business analyst is a person who will understand their current process and or understand, okay, what change they need to do in the existing system to arrive to their desired deliverables. So business analyst is an agent of change as well. What are the primary functions which a BA performs? So BA is will be performing the strategy analysis and problem definition. So any requirement, when the stakeholders come to us, it starts with analyzing why do they even need to build a product, what's the problem definition, what is their problem, why do they need to build a change to their existing process, or why do they need this solution. So BA will perform the strategy analysis and problem definition. Okay.
Okay.
Then comes up the second point, which is requirement elicitation and collaboration. We'll run the workshops with the stakeholders uh, to understand their requirements. Then we'll go and analyze those requirements and design those requirements in form of user stories or in form of flow charts, and then a solution evaluation. And then we'll build up those that product with the developers to deliver a valuable product. And then comes the change management and stakeholder communication, where change is something which BA needs to accept. So might be businesses come up with more and more ideas later on to add on to their product. So BA will also perform the change management and stakeholder communication. So these are the primary five functions of a BA. So we have covered the planned sessions for the day. And do you need anything any more valuable information? We come up to the end of today's session. So in the first session we covered the 13 modules which we'll be covering up, and we have covered the module 1, where I gave you an overview of how this profession evolved and what is business analyst and who is business analyst. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Do I get these PPT files?
Yeah, you'll be getting it. You'll be getting it. So it might be. Will you? How will you prefer? Like session by session or towards the?
Session by session is good.
Yeah. Okay. I can share these files.
I'm okay with any kind of thing, but just
Yeah, it's fine.
I'd
Have it
like it.
by session. That will also work for me. So let me. Please share me your email ID so that I can.
Should I send it in the chat right here?
Yeah. Whatever works.
Sorry, 1 second.
Okay. So okay. I'll keep the training team as well in the loop while sharing any information.